Football Manager 2023 is likely about to come out with its last major update for this game cycle, and these are the 5 biggest things that it needs to change. We're jumping right into the one that I talk about on stream more than any other. That is defensive marking. Now, we don't know exactly where this issue lies. There are 2 different things at play here. One, on this side, we have the graphics engine, which is, well, what you see. And then there is the match engine, which is on the other side. Now, the match engine is the number crunching. It's the determining what should happen based on the ability and all of the different numbers going on for both teams that get fed in and produce the eventual result. We don't know if the match engine is struggling with things or if the graphics engine is struggling with things. What we do know for sure is that this is not supposed to happen. God, the 50-50 balls, we're losing every single one of them right now. What are you doing? What are you doing? What is the logical explanation for any of the things that just happened on the field? There's zero logical explanation. The marking, particularly in fast break, I'll call them, counter-attacking or quick attacking situations, is just not very logical. And this can absolutely break your immersion and lead to you getting mad at players that maybe in the match engine you shouldn't be getting mad at, but in the graphics engine, it looks like it's their fault. So the numbers themselves determining the final outcome will tell you that they're supposed to score, but the way the graphics engine shows it to you doesn't allow you the right way to react. It doesn't show you the right path forward. You can see the inherent issue with this, and I'm assuming that in this typical January update that Football Manager does, there will be a match engine patch of some kind, and I really hope they go after this, because as you can see, this is something that's popped up on stream a lot. If you want to watch the streams, by the way, we do have a link to the Twitch in the description. See you there. Scary internet stuff. But that's a giant meta thing that I'm sure will require a ton from Nick Madden, this guy who is in charge of the Football Manager match engine. He's a great guy. He's working on it, I'm assuming, to fix. But the second thing is small, probably much more fixable and much more likely solvable in a very quick update, and that is our number 2 thing. The offside is still predictable. Look, it used to be where if a player was offside, you could literally look at the assistant ref and he would just be standing there like this, and you'd be looking at him like, well, the flag is up, so my guy was offside. Or he'd be standing here like this, and hey, the flag's not up, my guy is onside. Now in Football Manager, that is not the case. There is a bunch of mystery on the offside onside stuff, except there's not. It took me longer to figure it out this time. To not my credit, I didn't even figure it out. It was various people in the Zealand team that figured it out and then told me about it, but you can still predict accurately with 100% accuracy whether a player is on or offside before the whistle blows and VAR even happens. If you look closely in this bottom left corner of the stream, when a goal is onside, the goal will instantly be added to the bottom left corner, and when a goal is offside, it will not. It is a dead giveaway 100% of the time. Maybe it's something that was just overlooked, but it obviously breaks the drama. And I love the drama. It's painful, it's elation, it's sadness, waiting to see if that call is onside or offside is just part of the game now. It's part of the emotion and the drama of the game. And this little tidbit, this little oversight robs us of that drama. And once you know that it's there, and now that we're spreading it out so that everybody knows that it's there, hopefully that means it can be fixed rather easily. And that dramatic tension, that dramatic unveiling, it can be good. And that's why we partner with Mystery Football, who've been a longtime sponsor of the channel. We thank them for allowing us to fund our team of editors. Hello, Ayal. Now, Mystery Football is a website that you can go to and get a mystery kit delivered. It's a great deal. They have made up the entirety of my shirt collection. I was not a shirt collector before Mystery Football, but I am now. And if you go to the link at the top of the description, you can get a little discount as well, and it's already very cheap. And you get real jerseys from clubs around the world. And let's see who we've gotten this month. The grand unveiling. Dropped the card, apparently. Beer Shot in the Belgian First Division, which is actually, this is one of the teams that Will Still has managed. That guy that's just absolutely blowing up at Stade de Rennes, who we made this video about that you should totally check out after this video. Yes, we got a Beer Shot kit. That is pretty sick. A little disorienting because it's not actually yellow. Definitely cool. Let's toss it on. How do I look? Green might actually be my color. Finally, after 27 years, I found my color! Of course, if you want your own mystery football kit, the link at the top of the description is quite literally at the top of the description. Check it out. Well, let's get to number 3. I have written down over here, illogical dynamics, but I don't think anybody is going to be able to explain this better than Angry Me did on stream the other day.
I mean, obviously this is catching me at the wrong time, because I'm clearly frustrated with the way that our team is playing. But we have had multiple rants on the Marcus Sheldon situation because it is oh so clearly broken. Because every other promise for training facilities, we used to have like 25, is gone, but because Marcus Sheldon's for some reason came up a day before. Marcus Sheldon has been on a semi-pro contract all year because we couldn't offer him a new contract, and he is now considering his options because he's allegedly upset, even though he's pleased with the improvements we made to the club training facilities, which if his promise had expired one day later like everybody else's, or if anything in the world made sense, the fact that we've already completed improving our training facilities since making this promise would remove this. But because we have to wait another 124 days, and because of the mechanics of the game, he's now going to consider his options and leave at the end of his contract, and we can't keep our captain on our team.
Now, I understand this is an absolute nightmare for developers, right? It's so difficult with all of the different numbers and attributes and hidden attributes in different scenarios that players can find themselves in to code this appropriately. But with the direction that Football Manager is going, which is becoming more opaque, more abstract, less about spreadsheet staring and number crunching, and more about getting a feel for it and hiding the true numerical value of things, then what can really break your immersion is an entirely illogical interaction with a player, like Marcus Sheldon. And that's not the first time that's happened to me on FM23. In both of my saves, I have had a player waiting for one particular accomplishment, be it signing a good forward, signing a good member of the coaching staff, building better training facilities, doing this, doing that. One verifiable thing. I do that one verifiable thing, but I have to wait for the entire promised dated time to run out in order for that player to be happy again. In the meantime, Sheldon obviously still semi-pro, can't negotiate a new contract, and because he is technically still mad at me, even though he is, well, let's see here, pleased with the improvements in the club's training facilities. In fact, they all are. See, I have quite a few of these promises, and I do believe I've accomplished them. Not I do believe, I have. But I can't talk to any of those players in any meaningful way until that promise goes away, and that's a long way away. Hey, you having a good time? Cool. Subscribe. Thank you. Number 4. Set pieces. Now, look, I'm not suggesting in an update that they overhaul the whole set piece system. I know that is not going to happen, but it better happen next year, or else I'm going to absolutely... But for an update, there is one part in set pieces that is bothersome. I actually just made a whole video about how to survive set pieces this year, so totally check that out if you want even more detail on this. But essentially, there are illogical movements being made by players when they're on go back. And this is a serious issue because a lot of people won't touch their set pieces, despite my insistence that they do. And the preset tactic for set piece defense is go back. Well, when they're in go back, they just move illogically. So you need to go in, switch them all to man mark, to player mark, in order to avoid plays that look like this, where guys are wide open. But in the patch, as part of that match engine fix with the whole defensive marking thing in the run of play, adding more logical go-back defense would also be wonderful. And number 5, this is the one I'm most excited about because it's an idea I've had to improve the game, and it's not something that's necessarily broken in the game right now. It's adding an opposition instruction to not track players dropping off. So Football Manager has done something wonderful over the last couple of years. Players have become more fluid. They are more interpretive in their movements. Advanced forwards can still drop in and receive the ball if they feel like it is necessary in the run of play. This is much more realistic. It makes the matches feel more realistic. It is great. You don't just have some guy standing here because the match engine says he can't go 2 feet that way, even though it would make sense for him to do so to get the ball or something. But what we need is an opposition instruction to let those players go. Because I find myself often, as part of my opposition instructions and tactics, sauntering on in here to opposition instructions and having to do a little bit of this. No tight mark, or a tight mark and a tight mark. On players, I don't want to tight mark the whole game. I just want to follow their run when they run ahead of their position. Or I don't want to not tight mark Jacob Hill when he's freaking in the box. I want to not type mark him when he is dropping out of his position, because no matter what you do, your central defense will follow that forward and then get dragged out of position, especially if they lose a little flick on header, and it will open up a bunch of space in behind. The adding fluidity to the game is good, but we're kind of having to misuse opposition instructions in order to counter it defensively. I feel like Football Manager deserves to have a separate instruction to just not follow players dropping deep and to follow players making aggressive runs out of their otherwise mundane positions. Now, I mentioned it earlier. If you want to watch that full guide to surviving set pieces in Football Manager, it is right here. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you get a green kit, because I really think I'm popping in this thing, you know? Look at that. Look at that blue steel right there. Okay, I'm serving looks.